Yo, what's poppin', players? As you guys may know, Update 20 happened quite a while ago, and I never dropped a video on a tier list of all the new fruits they reworked and added into the game. I only made a tier list on the brand new swords, so I thought, why not make a tier list on fruits? You know, Number School totally has the best tier lists in all of YouTube. I mean, look at this masterpiece. I have God tier here in the best spot, which are fruits you should absolutely abuse if they're in this spot. Then it goes down to very good, and fruits in this area should be fruits that you're very good with. These fruits require a lot of skill to master, which doesn't make them broken. The broken fruits are fruits you don't even have to use a brain cell to use, and you could kill anything. Mid fruits are just fruits that kind of suck overall, and then you're gonna have your starter fruits. Hot trash fruits, if you see any fruits in this spot right here, the hot trash, please do not ever use them. I will pay you not to ever use these fruits. And kicking off this list right here, barriers going straight in the hot trash section. There is not enough money in this entire world that can pay me to use this fruit. Like, bro, you gotta be pulling on my balls if you actually think I would willingly use this fruit. Look at how bad the abilities are. You got the barrier wall ability. Look at how bad that is. 2.5 thousand damage, and all it does is put up a stupid wall you can walk around. You gotta be kidding me. The semi-decent ability would be the C ability, but look at this X ability. All you do is just teleport on somebody, deal 2.8 thousand damage. Then you have a C ability, which traps somebody in a ball. That's so mid. And the only semi-decent ability out of the entire kit would be the V ability. Look at this. 4.3 thousand damage. All it does is put up little pillars. If you miss it, well, good luck using the rest of the fruit, because this thing's on cooldown for 5 years. Look at that, bro. And if that's not all bad enough, what is this F ability? Look at you make stairs, but you run faster than the stairs. Who thought of this fruit? Okay, I should probably stop my ranting. We're not gonna go in order because I'm gonna throw curveballs at you guys. I don't want you guys to be too comfortable in this video. So next up, we're gonna go to the cheeseburger fruit right here, aka the sand fruit. Now, the cheeseburger fruit is actually not that bad. I would say it's in between mid and starter fruits, and it could sometimes, with the right hands, be very, very good once it's awakened. But you know what? For the sake of the video, you get this pretty early in the game, so I'm gonna say it's a pretty solid starter fruit. And since we're talking about starter fruits, I might as well clean up the area a little bit. This is the chop fruit. It's a pretty good starter fruit, I would say, because you're immune to sword attacks. And we got these 3 starter fruits. We got the spike fruit. That's another starter fruit. The spin fruit, and then the spring fruit. Those are all starter fruits. I'm just clearing those out of the way. There is nothing special about them, and you constantly get these. The reason why I hate the barrier fruit so much and why I don't consider it a starter fruit is because it's worth a lot. This piece of garbage barrier fruit is worth 800,000 in game, and if you want to buy it permanent, you gotta fork out 1250 Robux. You gotta be crazy if you think I'm gonna pay that much for this caca fruit. But now let's introduce our first god tier fruit, the portal fruit, baby. Everybody knows this is god tier and broken. The amount of combos you could do with this fruit is insane. I'm not gonna show any right now because I've done it in so many other bounty hunting videos. If you're curious, just go check those videos out after this video is over. But what makes this so overpowered and broken is not only how good it is at PvPing, but you can just teleport around the entire map. What other fruit lets you do that? Let me answer that question for you. 0 other fruits do that, boys. But now back to the tier list. We're still missing some spots for very good and mid fruits. We're gonna go ahead and throw the ice fruit in very good because it is not absolutely broken. There is one big counter to ice fruit. If you don't know what that counter is, let me show you. Since the ice fruit is a ground fruit, every ability you use is basically made to only keep things on the ground, as you guys can see. Every ability is used only for ground. There is nothing you could shoot up in the sky. You can't even fly in the sky. You just glide on the floor, and if somebody tries to fight you in the air, you're probably losing as an ice fruit user. It's very hard to win in the air. If you don't believe me, let me show you. The V ability doesn't even work in air. It touches the floor, and if you want to do something like the X ability, you can't use the X ability in air. It only works on the floor. Do I need to say more? Let's go back to that tier list, boys. We gotta first introduce our brand new mid fruit. Our first mid fruit is gonna be Control. Now listen, I know a lot of you guys are probably sitting here like, Number, Control is not mid, you just suck with it. I hear you. Chill out. You know, that might be true, but Blox Fruits kind of agrees with me. If you guys don't know and you've been sleeping under a rock, the official Blox Fruits team is reworking the Dragon Fruit and the Control Fruit. They said it right here. Outdated fruits such as Dragon and Control will be receiving reworks they truly deserve. So if you're wondering, does that mean Dragon is also mid? Nope, you're completely wrong. Dragon to me is god tier / broken. This thing is a monster when in the right hands. And of course, Dragon is one of my personal favorite fruits, so as you guys know, I'm pretty biased about it. But now going back to some more mid fruits, unfortunately, I have to say the rubber fruit is mid. I hate to say it, but Blox Fruits did not do this fruit justice. Once Gear 5 is out, I think rubber fruit will easily go to a god tier fruit. And oh my gosh, I just noticed a fruit I absolutely despise. The falcon fruit. Straight in the hot trash tier. I don't even consider that a starter fruit, bro. That's offensive to me. Look at how underwhelming this is, boys. If I go ahead and pull out my wings, there's like no transformation animation either. Like, look at that. It's just stupid. Not only that, but like the ability abilities suck. Look at Wind Burst. Oh, wow. 2,600 damage. So scary. This does only 3,000 damage, and there's like no combo potential. All the cooldowns are super long. 3,200 damage. The damage tickles, and your flight is like very, very slow. There's nothing cool about this fruit, unfortunately. You miss out on the Z ability too, and look at how many times I have to combo this NPC. I can't even kill it without waiting for all the cooldowns. This is embarrassing. If I ever see anybody with the Falcon fruit, I already know I'm winning the fight 100 times out of 100 times. I have to give credit where credit is due. The dough fruit spam is so overpowered. Oh my gosh, don't even get me started. Dough fruit stays in God tier. They've nerfed this fruit countless times, and it is still overpowered. Same thing could be said for Buddha. Listen, I know Buddha does not need skill to use, but that's why it's so broken in God tier. You could use the Buddha fruit to grind levels early game. You could use Buddha fruit to PvP with no skill and be super tanky and strong all at the same time. What else could you ask for? A fruit that does it all in one. But unfortunately, there is a big drawback when you do use the Buddha fruit, and you lose the attraction of women. That's the big drawback. I'm sorry, guys. But speaking of losing the attraction of women, my good old friend Rectway reminded me of a fruit that he uses, and that is, of course, the leopard fruit. This fruit will always be God tier and broken. Rumor has it they're trying to nerf this fruit, but I don't know how well that's gonna go. But let's continue. I'm talking about Blizzard now. Blizzard is actually very, very good. I wouldn't say it's broken because it needs to be used in the right hands. The God Bomb fruit is a starter fruit, but I do like to troll with it, so I believe it's a little bit more appreciated than just being a starter fruit. If you don't know what I'm talking about, basically you could troll people by putting invisible landmines on the floor, and you could get them to blow themselves up. It's really funny. Look at this. There's a bunch of landmines here. Let me go ahead and punch this NPC so he comes over here and takes damage from all these landmines. And when you're fighting regular players, they usually get stuck on these. They can't use abilities, and they get really slowed down. So it is really annoying. Look at this. I could kill him just by walking around. Next up is Dark Fruit, but to be honest, I don't see many Dark Fruit users. In the right hands, it could easily be very, very good, but I don't see that many to make it very, very good. So we're gonna go ahead and leave that in mid, unfortunately. Especially when it's awakened, it could be, like I said, very good, but I don't know. I think it's kind of mid. Same thing with the Diamond Fruit. That's a troll fruit as well. You could blind opponents with it and just mess with them. Flame Fruit is actually very good, no question about it. Especially when you awaken it to V2, it's amazing. Same could be said for the Light Fruit as well, so that's going into the very good tier. Magma, right here, this bad boy has the most damage per second in the entire game. If you don't believe me, look at what the official Blox Fruit wiki says. When awakened, this fruit has 2 of the highest damage moves in the game, and it makes it actually the second best grinding fruit right after Buddha. Of course, like I said, Buddha is the best grinding fruit, but it doesn't have as much damage as the Magma Fruit. Oh my gosh, Gravity Fruit. This is a mythical fruit, but it's an embarrassment to the mythical subject. I could probably count the amount of times I've ever seen a Gravity user on one hand, and I only have 5 fingers. You should too, probably, right? If you have more or less fingers than me, that's completely fine, because you probably still never seen as many Gravity users as you have on one hand. I can't believe they consider this a mythical fruit. It has to have a full rework. The meteors and stuff look cool, but like the abilities just kind of suck. I mean, like, look at that. That's not very entertaining. I know you could do combos with them and stuff like that, but look at the cooldowns. They're super long. Maybe if they like make the cooldowns faster, this fruit would be a lot more viable, but as of right now, nobody even likes to trade with Gravity either. Now, the Mammoth Fruit. Everybody has been waiting for me to rank this one, I bet. And you guys already know this thing's going into God tier. I believe the Mammoth Fruit is insanely broken. I just used it to PvP and bounty hunt some players, and I became unstoppable using the Stampede ability. If you don't know what I'm talking about, basically when you use this transformation and you start to stampede around, you are immune to everything. I mean stuns, I mean damage. You cannot stop. Once you're in Stampede formation, you can only take damage. You will not be stopped until you let go of this F button. It was hilarious killing players like this. If you haven't checked that video out, I recommend checking it in the future. It is so good. Next up is Love Fruit, and Love Fruit is very good, especially after the rework they did months and months ago back in February. Pain Fruit is actually the paw fruit, but it's still the same exact fruit, and to be honest, I think it's kind of mid. I think it deserves way more justice. Even though a lot of people think the Phoenix Fruit is pretty mid, I think it's actually very good. I have fought in some Phoenix mains, and they got me very mad before. Same has to be said with the Quake Fruit. I think the Quake Fruit is also very, very good. I wouldn't say it's entirely broken, but it's strong. But speaking of something broken, the brand new Ghost Fruit is easily God tier unbroken. Before they reworked it, it used to be called the Revive Fruit, and I had beef with that fruit. That fruit sucked so much balls, it was disgusting. It reminded me of the Barrier Fruit at the time. But after this rework, let me show you guys how much damage this Ghost Fruit fruit can output. It's insane. To absolutely abuse this fruit to its full potential, you're gonna go ahead and activate your V ability, and the game's gonna kind of break. Then you're gonna go ahead and use your X ability and one-shot everything. 17,000 damage. And if we go to this guy, we could go ahead and use our C ability on him. That's gonna deal so much damage. We could go ahead and use our Z ability right there. 9.3 thousand damage. If we use our X ability, you could pretty much one-shot him. He's like 1 HP, but whatever. You get the point. The rocket fruit is actually an amazing starter fruit. It used to be the good old killer fruit that we have right here, but we're not gonna talk about that right now. I think the rumble fruit is also very good. The shadow fruit is actually very good as well. The smoke fruit is a starter fruit, but I kind of think it's hot trash at the same time, so I'm gonna throw that in the trash spot. Sound fruit is insanely broken. That's going straight into God tier. Do I have to explain that one? What makes this fruit so overpowered is that it has AoE damage, which stands for area of effect. That's just fancy for meaning you could hit a bunch of people all at the same time. Let me show you what I mean. So we're gonna go ahead and fly around to charge up our tempo meter because we want everything to be gold and shiny. That gives us the most damage and defense. So let's go ahead and shine up there. Perfect. We're gonna go ahead and smack this NPC, then we're gonna smack this one. Then we're gonna go ahead and use our V ultimate ability. Then we're gonna use our C ability, and then go ahead and just see how much damage we can deal there. And as you guys can see, we melted a bunch of NPCs, spammed a bunch of abilities, and they stood no chance. Spider fruit is very good. I wouldn't say it's broken. Same thing with Venom here as well. Spirit is also very, very good, but you have to be very good to use it at the same time. To be honest, I kind of think it's still pretty broken, but I'll leave it down here for now. Very good. But last but not least, we have the good old Kilo fruit right here. And this is the OG rocket fruit. It's God tier and broken. It's gone but never forgotten, boys. So with that being said, that concludes this tier list. Go ahead and click on one of these videos on screen because YouTube thinks you might like it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, boys. I appreciate it. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.